Po. You're muted, bro. You're muted. You're muted.
Okay, I
There
think.
we go. All right.
Am I still muted now? Yeah,
No, you're good now.
yeah, guys. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. See, yeah, guys, welcome to the Dal and Claude show. See, today's one is going to be a quick one because there's international games going to be going on quite soon. We'll just go around some issues. It's going to be a quick one, guys. It's going to be a very, 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 very quick one. See, uh, 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 Dal, you're
What's
welcome to the
up, man?
show.
Thank
Episode
you. How you
6,
doing?
season 1. You're welcome to the show, my guy. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Happy Tuesday. Can't
Mm.
complain. Sun's out.
Happy Tuesday, my brother.
Getting ready to
Mm.
watch the England match. I take it. All you guys. I got a
Yeah,
dentist appointment
yeah,
later, but I'll be okay. But other than that, man, I'm good.
yeah, sure. And of course, Jazz is in the house. Yeah, Jazz says,
See ya.
and big ups to Jazz, man. Big ups to Jazz, man. Enough love to this man. Yeah,
My God.
always coming, even if my internet is very crappy. Anthony, go get a new internet. He still comes here to show this this young man some love. Big ups to you, Jess, man, and
For sure.
the love is mutual, to you too, man. He says have a good show, guys, and smash the likes up. Big ups to you, Jess, and of course CFCOG, my guy is in the house. CFCOG, big ups, yeah. And of course. Wolfang is also in the house. Also,
Yeah,
big ups to
Wolf.
Wolfang. I'm also on Facebook. Tony Cloud Gunner TV. Arsenal is also on Facebook. Can give us some stars down there. To be good. And go check us. Go check us out and check the content we post down there too on Facebook too. Wolfang is in the house. That's a big brother too. Wolfang, yeah. Big ups to you. Hopefully, I hope this week Marty will be able to do a show. I don't think so, but let's see. Because across the board, so many things will be happening this week in our community. Jess will be having
Mm,
a show, I think, on Thursday with Lee Garner and Kenny Ken.
nice.
Guys, that one
Yeah.
is gonna be. See, yeah, I'm licking my lips for that one.
I
Yeah,
know
that's
those
gonna be a big
always
one.
great shows.
That's gonna be a big
Always
one
great.
on Jess channel. Yeah, this week it's gonna be a big one. So you guys, you better go check that out this week. Also, this week on the American Idiot Show,
Mm,
Lee Gunner will be coming down this week. So TJ
yeah.
Warren is got himself another big one. I hope you'll be there too, Down, man. You have to be there, man. It's the
Oh
American
yeah,
Idiot
for
Show.
sure. No, no.
Yeah,
I'll
you
be
have
there
to
for
be
sure.
there. You have to be
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tony
It's a good time.
Ibarra is in the house and he says, Po, Po, Po. Big up Tony and TVS. And Wolfgang is also here. CFCOG. Big ups to the group down here, yeah. See, now let's walk straight right into it, yeah.
Get right into it.
England, Scotland in less than 15 minutes, yeah. Good.
Mm,
Ramsdale starts for them. Declan Rice is starting at the middle of the park, yeah,
mm,
for Scotland
mm.
today. And Eddie Nketiah would be coming up from the bench, of course. Kane having that big nod,
Right.
even if this is just a friendly against Scotland. What do you think, man? Arsenal two players starting up in an English team, and then we have
This,
our striker Eddie Nketiah who was called up into that team on the bench. What do you think?
I, I think that's great as long as somebody doesn't get injured, especially Declan Rice. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like some of these games, friendlies, it's a World Cup qualifier. I get it if you have a strong squad, but I don't know, man. England and Scotland, it's going to be a good mix-up. It's going to be physical, and I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably going to be 1-1 because I'm not impressed with anything Southgate's been doing. Maybe Harry Kane. You said he had a knock or is a little injured or possibly, or is he starting?
Harry Kane is starting actually, yeah, from the
He's
team
starting.
sheet. I'm
Okay.
seeing Harry Kane here. to
Yeah.
have that start. Yeah, he's having the start today.
Well, if they
Yeah,
can just get the
I
ball
don't think
forward and
he's
get the
injured.
ball in the cane,
He's starting the game.
yeah. If they just get the ball in the cane,
Mm.
I don't see them having problems with the Scottish defense. Maybe Kieran Tierney will be center back. I haven't looked at the lineups, but yeah, I'm kind of ready for Prem football like everybody else. I don't really care too much about some of these friendlies and qualifiers. I mean, it's a World Cup qualifier, yeah, but
But see,
I mean, we're so far away from that I don't know. It's not a big deal.
yeah, there's something that you should care for. We all know that Southgate really likes using Sack, right? He always
Yeah.
likes using this guy all the time. He overuses him. He plays him till the last drop of the 90 minutes. That's how bad
Mm.
Southgate is with Saka. Yeah, he doesn't want to give this guy any rest at all. Today, Saka gets a rest. Does that make any? Does that set any kind of alarm bells for you? Do you think Saka is injured? Because see, I've seen this guy being used and overused in that English team.
Right.
For Southgate to put him on the bench today, something is up. Do you think that maybe he's tired, or do you think this is just a shake up? Because Foden has been brought into the
Mm.
fold and is playing from that right hand side right now. So what do you think?
Well, maybe he's just getting the rest. Maybe he went and talked to him and said, "Hey, boss, I've just been running too hard. I've been playing every Premier League game since the dawn of time, basically." So I don't know. Maybe there was a chat between Southgate and Arteta, or maybe he just looks at it that Phil Foden's a class player, and maybe he can
Mm.
rip up that Scottish side, that Scottish left back,
Mhm.
whoever's playing there. Hopefully, it's not Tierney, but I think he plays more center there anyway for Scotland. But the thing is that it's good. Maybe he needs a break. We all know he needs a break. So I don't have a problem with Southgate making
We
that
all know
decision.
he needs a break.
I want him. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem even maybe resting him for Everton in some ways because Reece Nelson I still think needs a run out on a lower level team. But Arteta's not going to do that when it comes to Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's
you
of
know
course.
he's going to be right back
But
in the mix
but
this
see, yeah,
weekend.
see that Everton game. We'll still go into that Everton game. Yeah. See, even just said it on the show. Yeah, he's also worried about our record down there at Everton. Yeah, we don't
Right.
have a good record down there at Everton right now. It's in the gutters right now. I think in
Mhm.
7 years, we haven't actually
That's what
had
I've heard.
a goal. We haven't had a
Yeah.
goal in that place. Yeah, and even at times when we've had a goal, we never get the win. It's always a draw. It's always,
Mhm.
one silly mistake, one stuff just happens. Hocus pocus, we don't get a win. See, Dahlia, I think we do need Saka playing in that game against Everton.
Mhm. We
We need
do.
him
We need
driving through that right hand flank,
to.
right?
He needs to use the subs, at earlier times. If you have five subs, use them before the 75th minute. Spread them out. If you're going to start soccer, give them 60 minutes, take them off at the 60th minute, and put someone else in. If you're going to use them, I just don't think using him for the full 90 minutes against Everton. Is that really going to what's that going to do for him in the long run? And that's why I think when it comes to the man management, that's where Arteta lacks some of that, because I think this is a perfect game for Reece Nelson to get in there, Trossard to get in there. I know he's spoken to Arteta from what I've heard. It says he needs more game time. He's only played, I think, a total of 60 minutes in the last 4 games. So I think this is a good match for Arteta to mix it up. But we need to get the 3 points regardless, Tony. If you put in
Mm,
Trossard and Reece Nelson, but it's not happening, maybe put in Martinelli and Saka in this 65th minute or so to get that elusive goal that we need. But I just don't want to see this
mm,
go again to the 93rd, 94th minute for us to pull out a 2-1 victory or 1-0. I
mm.
feel like we need to do the damage early, and we haven't been able to do that in the last 4 games. And regardless of the England game today or not, Saka needs to be ready to play. Pure and
He
simple.
needs to be ready, man. He needs to be ready. And see it again. Uh, see, we shot ourselves in the foot again in the transfer
Mhm.
window. That's why when I
Mhm.
see some high scores, yeah, in the transfer window, that everyone is reaching out, yeah.
Right.
to this Arsenal board. Sometimes I'm like, are these guys really? Are they serious? Yeah. No
Yeah.
replacement, no like for like replacement for Bukayo Saka. It's a big
Mhm.
problem. And right now we have to manage the way we, insert him into the games right now, because that, that guy is just one kick away from an injury, and we're back to
Right.
square one. We don't have our choice left back in Julian Timber. Mind you, the Champions League squad have just been released. We'll go into that a little bit later.
Hmm.
Julian Timber won't be there. Even January is not going to be there up to January,
Right.
which means that injury is going to spread till next year, definitely. Uh, that Bukayo Saka, there's no replacement for him. Maybe Trossard, but again, Trossard should be a guy who should be scoring goals for us rather than being on that right hand side, right?
Right. So if I'm Arteta, I start looking at putting Jesus on the right side and maybe Trossard up front or Martinelli up front and put Trossard on the left. I still am a pretty big advocate for having Martinelli up front. I mean, I know what he can. We know what he can do, cutting it on the wing and so forth. But I think at times there's just like he needs a little bit more of refinement on that in that position. And I think there's at times where if we
Yeah.
just slotted him in the middle of the pitch, you know, up front, I think he can do a little more damage than he could possibly do of cutting in on the left wing with his head down and just trying to find that
Mm,
pass, across the face of goal. You know, I think Arteta's going to need to mix it up, Tony, like you said, because the depth isn't there. And once the injuries start piling
depth is
up,
in there.
you're going to have to rotate players anyway. So I'm just thinking that now's the time to not necessarily experiment, but start figuring out the key positions and the key subs that you want in at the right time, right? Because you need to have that
Mm,
plan, and I still don't want to see Kai Havertz on the left. I'd rather see ESR because I think he's really got, the the shaft, you know what I mean? And no pun intended,
mm.
but like that guy's just been kind of left on a deserted island, and even since last season.
Exactly,
So,
exactly. And he fought for a
I just
move to
want
Chelsea, and
something
he didn't
different
get
against
it.
Everton. Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Dude, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't think Arteta rates him, but I do want to see something a little bit different against Everton because you're right. We've gone there 6, 7 seasons, haven't gotten much. It's a tough place to
at
go.
all.
Yeah, at
Mm,
all. We've got much at all there. So maybe it's time for Arteta to just, hey, if Saka's getting a rest against England, maybe I'll just put him in for the first half. Maybe I'll just put him in for 60 minutes and rotate a bit. But I see, I can see Martinelli playing up front, and people may disagree with that, but I just think that he would be a good mix in the rotation, especially like I said when the injuries start piling up.
it- but again, he's one. Martinelli, of course, is one of our
Mm,
most effective wingers right now. There's no how you can actually remove him from games. It was, and again, this is mixed with the whole thing. Yeah, when it's Bukayo Saka having a good day, he has a good day. Yeah, but when he
mm,
doesn't have a good day, he has a really, really bad day.
right.
That was exactly what happened at Manchester United. There was no way in and about or around, of course, Dalot, who actually marked him tight that day against
Mm,
Manchester United. But again, Martinelli found joys with Wan-Bissaka. Maybe not, maybe not a 8/10, but at least
right.
he did, yeah, something like that. But maybe he did make some good runs out there, turned
Mm,
up when he should be able to turn up, and that equalizer that Odegaard gave to us, it is from his cutback that Odegaard was able to get that goal. So definitely, Martinelli should feature. I really think so. But somehow we should be able to reintegrate Trossard into this team.
right.
Shout out to Danny. Danny, big ups to you, Danny. Dikpo of Lagos is down here. Yeah, that's a real one. Yeah, Dikpo of Lagos says, "Sup guys, good to be here. Licky licky licky." Oh my God, that's my guy. Big ups to you. Okay, Dow, yeah, the
Mm,
Champions League uh, 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 team sheet, yeah, list of
mhm,
players was just released by Arsenal. Yeah, In that list, Cedric the Entertainer made that list.
Right.
Cedric the
Right.
Entertainer made
It's
that
shocking.
list. Sosa made that list. Kieran Timber obviously did not make that
Mm-hmm.
list. Fabio Vieira made the list. And
Mm-hmm.
again, Emil Smith Rowe made that list. What do you think about that list? Any shocking reservations?
Cedric. I mean, I didn't know he had was a pitching a tent out in the parking lot. I I don't know what's going on with Arteta. I don't know. See, to me, that's sort of like puts the Champions League kind of secondary almost, right? Because you look at those lineups and you're like,
Mm,
what are you thinking? Like Jez has said it before. Many that we've all of us have said too is that these are professional footballers. The same lineup in the Premier League. We need to be playing against the top teams in our group stage. And to me, the only top team really
mm,
is PSV. Maybe Sevilla is going to cause us trouble. I think they're bottom of the Liga right now. I think
mm.
they just signed Sergio Ramos. I you know I don't know what Arteta's plan is. I don't understand why you would play ESR in the Champions League group game, but you won't give him a sniff in a Premier League game against Fulham. Right? It boggles the mind, Tony. It makes no sense. Now, if he goes
Yeah, it's
out there and
sketchy.
gets injured, now
Sketchy.
that's one less player we have now for our Premier League, our title challenge. Which, by the way, I don't think we're going to win, but I just feel like already the wheels are starting to come off a bit with his selections, right? And if Fabio Vieira gets
Mm.
injured, well, that means Havertz gets more game time. So I don't know, Tony. I'm not overall convinced, and I don't think going away at PSV, he needs to pick the right lineup, or it's all going to fall apart.
But again, Dahlia, see, do we have enough squad depth? Like when you look at that Champions League team, yeah, do you see any squad depth there? Yeah, it might be flattery a little bit. Yeah, it might be flattering. Yeah, when you see
Yeah,
that we have Gabriel Jesus, Eddie Nketiah there, and of course Eddie Nketiah is scoring goals at least for the first 4 games. We've seen him score 2 goals
right,
and 1 assist. We all know he's not a consistent kind of guy, but the thing there is he has started scoring goals. Gabriel Jesus is scoring goals. Yeah, we have Trossard on the bench. We have
right.
Fabio Vieira who is getting in on the act. At least we've seen him kind of like up his game a little bit, improve his game. He's making those deep runs. Is trying to survey the area quite quickly this time. These
Mm-hmm.
days when he's playing and when he comes off the bench, you just have to give that him. Good, but when you have those guys on the bench, it looks a little bit flattery, in a way that you have, this guy's on the bench, yeah, and you have Emil Smith Rowe. But back in our minds as Arsenal fans, we do know that that's not just enough, right?
Right. Of course not. It's never enough. We've missed out on so
Mm,
many, top signings that we've gotten well for the last 4 or 5 years. But you know, it makes me wonder where Arteta rates, the Champions League in some cases. If you're if you're looking at Cedric to produce something, I I can't speak on that. You know what I mean? I can just think that you're just dumb, right? As a manager to expect Cedric to get a result at PSV, or Sevilla. I can't even think of the other team that's in our group. I think it's some
mm,
minnows, but you know, I I can see a struggle, but I think at the end of the day, I think
yeah.
we'll come out of that group on top. To be honest, I think once we get
Eh,
fired on
eh,
all
Me
cylinders,
too.
and once Arteta starts, playing these mind games with himself, and comes up with a plan A and possibly a plan B, I think we'll get out of that group though.
Yeah, because for me, yeah, see, Arsenal, see, this is for me the most easiest group in the Champions League. I'm sorry, it's the most easiest group. Yeah,
It's
we
one of
should
them
just
right
go
now,
there,
yeah, for
do a
sure.
killer job, just yeah, it's one of the most easiest because Sevilla, I think we did those guys about 6-0. That was in a friendly in the Emirates Cup. I think that was last year. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lens, come on, man. Come on, man.
Oh, that's right.
Come
Yeah,
on,
we're gonna
man.
battle that.
We ought to be
But,
beating. Come on,
but
man.
but
Come on, man.
but
We
we
have to be
also
beating
saw a
these
couple
guys.
seasons ago. We drew with Rapid Vienna. A couple of seasons ago in the Europa League. So
Mm,
I think there's, there's, I think Sevilla are going to be a little more of a challenge. I really do. I just,
mm.
from what I've seen so far, Tony, from what you've seen so far, and Gunner's in the chat, you
Yeah.
know, is there anything to really give you full confidence that we're just going to pound away on Sevilla and PSV and call it a day? We haven't really shown any evidence that we can do that so
Mm.
far. And you can say last season or preseason, that's great.
That's a
And we were
big one.
flying preseason. We beat City in the Shield. We beat Barcelona, right? I mean, we were looking better in preseason than we are now.
Than we are now. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. See, yeah, Dow, in
Yeah.
this game against Everton, what do you want to see changed? Because we can't keep going to Everton to Merseyside with
Mm-hmm.
the same kind of game tactics. Mind you, Sean Dyche, yeah, it's that coach. Whenever he sees Arsenal, he wants to literally give his life on that on
Yeah.
that pitch. Yeah, Sean
Yeah.
Dyche. You know what he did last season to us. See, yeah, but what do you want to see Arsenal do different in this game against Everton? Because we have to come out with the 3 points.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing is abandoning the 4-3-3 right now because I just don't think it's working for Saka. It's not working for Martinelli very well, even though he had a pretty good performance against United. Um, yeah, I would clog the midfield. If I was Arteta, I'd go 4-4-2 with Jesus and Martinelli up front, Trossard on the left, Saka on the right, and Rice and Odegaard in the middle, and then the normal four in the back. Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinchenko, and not invert because you leave a big gap when you invert the left back, invert Zinchenko, or just have Ben White do
Yeah.
run behinds on Saka, overlap. So I don't know. I think just that
Mm,
in itself, going back to basics, clogging up their midfield, keeping Onana from pushing people around. But it's going to be tough,
yeah,
especially they have
because
Beto.
he's a
Beto
bully.
will
He's a bully.
bully. Yeah, he's 6'4" or
Yeah.
5. I mean, he wants to get in the mix and get the ball up the
Mm,
pitch. And Beto, I think, is
true.
a better striker than Calvert Lewin by a country mile, just because of his experience in
Country mile.
in Europe. And I think it was with Benfica, right? If
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
They got him from
Sure.
Benfica, so they're obviously a
Yeah.
top European club that's always in the mix, and they have a good coaching squad. And that Beto guy will be up for it. If Sean Dyche can get the long ball up to Beto, he's going to cause problems. But at the
It's
same
gonna cause
time, if
real
we play
problem.
our game, yeah, but the counter to that, Tony, if we play our games, if we play Gabriel close to the line and play Saliba, and those two have a good synergy and can work well together, and we can keep Everton pinched in on their half, we'll absolutely dominate them. But we have to put the ball in the back of the net, and that's where we've been struggling. It's not the passing, really. It's not, maybe there's some communication, some leadership things going on, between Odegaard and Rice, but I think those things will work themselves out because I do think there's some
Yeah.
like I said, there's some communication in the midfield that needs to take place because the ball movement's just not as
Yeah.
fast, right? So with that said,
Exactly.
if we could pin in Everton, we will absolutely, demolish them. But again, we're the Arsenal, and we will slip up. I think we'll slip up, and Beto will probably get a goal, and hopefully we'll scoot out of there with 2 or 3-1.
Mm.
I don't know,
But
man.
let's see. Let's see. I really do have hope. I really do have hope that we can go to Everton, man. That team is looking bad at right now.
Right.
It's really a good time to go to Merseyside and try to gazong these guys, bully them a little bit in the middle of the park. I want to see Jorginho integrated into this team a
There you
little
go.
bit, just a little bit,
Okay.
just a
Yeah,
little bit.
he's kind of a
Yeah,
forgotten man too, isn't
yeah, exactly, just a little bit because, bro. If Declan Rice gets injured,
he? Yeah.
see now, no one is taking this thing seriously until it happened. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I really do think we need to use Declan Rice sparingly. Get what you
Mm.
need from him in the first half, and that's why we need to get these games going. First 20 minutes, I want to see Arsenal all over the place, ready to
Yeah,
score goals. Three,
yeah, me
two,
too.
3, 4 goals. Take those chances so that we can be able to give this player that have, a little bit of a suspicious kind of injury record right now. Declan Rice. I'm having this gut feeling that Bukayo Saka is already tired already. That's what I feel. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can be able to give these players a little bit of rest. Talking about options right now, Dalia,
Yeah.
Zichenko. I saw Zichenko play for Ukraine against England.
Mm.
Oh my God. It looked like a demon in the field.
Yeah.
Wolfgang would actually agree on this one with me. That guy looked like a demon in the middle of the park. Yeah, this guy plays midfield. Yeah,
Mm.
touche. See his displays in the middle of the park is something
Mm.
to arouse. See, I
Mm.
asked the same question of Ola the other day. Yeah, and it went back to the stubbornness of Mikel Arteta sometimes, and if he would even employ him
Right.
in that area. What do you think? Yeah, Zichenko is a midfielder ready to be used in the middle of the park. Do you think we should start looking at that area and say, you know what, yeah, Zini, we have to start looking at you in the middle of the park. What do you think?
Well, right. Hopefully, maybe that'll work if Timber comes back, right? Since we loaned Kieran Tierney out, if we had Tierney at left back, I'd have no problem with Zinchenko at CDM, or sort of a, he's not really a box to box though, is he? Really? So he played more of a CDM
Bro, he
role,
was even playing box to
right?
box for
I mean,
Ukraine. He can play anywhere in that midfield option.
was he?
He
Okay.
scored a goal for them. Yeah,
Hmm.
he scored a goal. He scored the
I
Ukrainian
didn't
goal.
have to
It
about
was a
any of the
cutback,
international.
and he was in the post. He scored the goal. So he could play anywhere in the midfield for me, and that's what I think.
Hmm. Well, give him a shot, Tony. 4-2-3-1. Put him up there next to Rice. Let him be the box to box guy. I'm all for. I'm not all for experimenting, but I'm all for changing things that are broken, because what's broken is we're not scoring goals, and within the first 90 minutes, right? We've got a few, but we've really left it at the death, and I don't want that trend to
Mm.
continue, is what I'm saying. And so if we start experimenting, yeah, we can maybe get some goals out of it, but how long is he going to stick with that, And that's the thing.
But
We
we
get
have a
on our
left
tail
back
for
who
tinkering, and then we get on them for not changing it up as well, right? So,
the problem there is that this guy admitted live on TV to a
mm,
Manchester United legend that he can defend. So that he has problems defending. So and we have him as this option that can play in the middle of the park. So
right.
rather than actually experimenting with someone like Thomas Partey, why can't we just
Mm,
put this guy where he belongs in the midfield and try and give him a shot down there and see what happens? That's where
I
I'm
think
at right now. Of course, I'll come to you. TJ Warren is in the chart. See,
okay,
guys,
good.
TJ Warren, yeah, he is going to bring in Lee Gunner this week. I posted it on my Instagram because, of course, TJ is very close to me, and also he's also very close to my partner here, Dow too. So big ups to TJ. Keep doing your thing, my brother.
Yeah,
Keep growing. Guys, man, you have to go to that channel, smash up the likes in that channel, subscribe to that channel. Yeah, the American Idiot Show. I can't wait for it. Lee Gunner's coming. Even Jez on the show too this week on Wednesday. Don't miss it for a thing, yeah. Lee Gunner is gonna be in the house. I think Kenny Ken is gonna be in the house too for Jess too on that show. You guys have to make it up down there and go show this guy some love, yeah. TJ, Jess, we're family, that. See, you
absolutely.
were saying something. You were saying something, Dalman.
Well, I was just thinking that we get on Arteta's back because he doesn't rotate enough, and then we get on his back because we don't think he knows his first 11. I think if you put Zinchenko into the midfield mix, I think it complicates things even more. You know what I mean? I see where you're
Mm.
going with this, Tony, and I didn't watch the Ukraine England game, but if you're saying he was a beast, I'm going to take your word for it. I rated him last season. I thought he did pretty good. He did what Arteta wanted him to do, which is inverted and pass the ball through the middle. So and again, I don't want to move from that recipe that worked, right? So to me, that's what got us, to where we were last season. And you don't really have to fix anything that's not broken until it gets broken. So I think
That's
that
not
if we
broken, right?
throw
Okay.
Zinchenko into the mix of Rice, Havertz, Vieira, Emil Smith Rowe, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, right? Then now you have a whole lot of midfielders, and you're sort of like, Arteta looking at himself in the mirror, thinking he can't do anything right, questioning his ability
Yeah.
and all that shit. I just think that inserting Zinchenko into the midfield lineup would really just muck up things. Keep them on the left, invert them if you have to, if
Yeah.
that's what works. But when it doesn't work, and that's the part we've all got upset about, is when the inverted Zinchenko stuff doesn't work, where's the real plan B? And so no matter what, he has to have a plan B. And if that's sticking Zinchenko in the midfield, taking out someone who's not performing, then fine. But I don't think any of the midfielders I listed, bar Havertz, deserve to be dropped to have Zinchenko in the midfield. If that makes sense.
See, yeah. See, you just dropped the H bomb, yeah, again. See, it's not like we like taking shots at this guy, but it's just that we try to avoid it, but we still get to that crescendo where we have to talk
Right.
about him, and that's Kai Havertz because he's changed the whole dynamics of this team, and
Right.
see, it's a different touch at Arsenal. And you know what? Yeah, the reason why this hasn't blown out of proportion is because we're still
Mm,
winning games. Yeah, in 4 games we've
right.
won about three. We've drawn one. That's the reason why this Kai Havertz thing hasn't really come to that crescendo of up in arms and
Right.
Arsenal fans irate and very extremely angry online. And that's just the reason why, because we've gotten wins. But see, yeah, I watched Kai Havertz. Yeah, that
Mm,
against Japan. Yeah,
okay.
against
Oh,
Japan.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Oops.
my God. I tried to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Yeah,
Mm,
you're not at Arsenal. You're not playing for Arsenal
right.
this weekend. So let me just see a different dimension. Let me see what other coaches think about you.
Mm,
Yeah, we understand what Mikel Arteta thinks about this bloke, right? He loves
mm,
it. He want to give him a chance in the team. He keeps him even up to 90 minutes to play the whole game. I really
mm-hmm.
understand this. No problem. You want to give the guy you got for about 65 million pounds to the team. You want to give
Right.
him a shot, because if you don't give him a shot, it's on Mikel Arteta. It's on him if he doesn't perform. Good. Now I wanted to see Hans Flick, who actually trusts Havertz with his life. You always keep him there
Yeah.
70, 80 minutes. See, you know
Yeah.
what? Yeah, Hans Flick has just been sacked by, of course, Germany. He doesn't have a job
Right.
for having faith in Kai Havertz. Didn't
Mm,
get a goal, didn't make those runs, and I was watching the whole dynamics of this German team. Yeah, they don't trust Kai Havertz. They're not passing the ball to him. They're not giving him the ball. They're making runs without him. And he's supposed to be the central striker for Germany in that game.
okay.
Japan ran them right.
Yeah.
Sane got the goal for them. He was nowhere to be found. He didn't even, I don't think he
Mm-hmm.
had a shot on goal in that matchup. So Arsenal
Wow.
fans are right in terms of critiquing Kai Havertz's performances
Mm-hmm.
on an Arsenal shirt. So what do you think, my brother?
Well, knowing what I know now about his performance in the German national team game, whew, hopefully Arteta gets a look
It
at
was
that as
garbage.
well.
It was garbage.
Yeah, yeah. I
It
mean,
was
if
garbage.
you're the Germans, you're getting slaughtered by Japan 4-1. There's bigger problems than Kai Havertz, right? But that's a problem. I mean, let's. So he's got hand. So Kai Havertz has destroyed the careers of Thomas Tuchel, Hansi Flick, and possibly now Mikel Arteta if he sticks with this guy. So it's on Arteta as a manager of our beloved club to be watching that game and taking note of that game and Kai Havertz's performance in that game. And it's up to Arteta to make the decision what his lineup's going to be this weekend. And if he's looking at Kai Havertz from what he's seen so far in the red and white and what he's seen in the black and white, and he continues to go with them, he could have his head on a stick right next to Hansi Flick.
Exactly.
You know? So let's, things are going okay for us right now. Like you said, we're 4 games in, 3 wins, 1 draw, so that doesn't give Arteta any real reason to change anything, right? Because in his mind, his plan is working.
But must we get to that point
mind
before
not
anything
because
is
we're
changed?
fucking scoring goals in the last 10 minutes.
Must we get to that point?
What point is that? That he has to drop Kai Havertz? You know what I mean?
Yeah, must we get to that point?
Yeah, he's got to get there. When we start dropping points, someone's going to take the blame. Someone's going to get the guillotine, right? And it's probably not going to be Arteta. It's going to have to be Havertz if he continues to play him on the left mid where he's just a passenger. So you're telling me he was just a passenger in the Japanese game, in the German-Japanese game. If he's up there up front and they're not passing the ball to him, then he's just standing around.
It was shocking.
Wow.
It was shocking, man. Of course, many other Arsenal fans have written this. See, it's a write-off to many other people. Yeah, it's already a write-off. Yeah,
sure.
I'm just the one trying to say, let's give him 10 games. Let's see what happens. But man, even me giving him that chance, man.
Right.
Oh my God. I tried to see some good, but I'm not seeing anything. He's not putting up the performances. He's not making the runs. He looks lazy. He's tall enough to be able to have a good hold-up play. His hold-up play is trash. He doesn't use his head sparingly. He doesn't use his head grossly. He doesn't know how to hold the ball. He doesn't know how to move with the ball progressively. He slows down the game. Everyone around him is slow when they try to play according to his pace. Every other footballer around him are moving up with the ball progressively and surpassing him in those movements. They make great movements off the ball. Kai Havertz doesn't make great movements off the ball. He's so slow. Doesn't think fast. My brother, the game against Japan opened my eyes. And I'm sorry, man.
Okay.
Just this past week, it's true, I'm coming to that conclusion. Just this past week, Arsenal threw out a £72 million signing. Yeah, that was brought a record signing at the time that was brought to this football club, and that's See, Dal, I'm sorry. I think we might have just gotten another one of those flops, and this time, this one is even worse than Nikolai Pepe.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's 72 and 65. That's $137 million for 2 players that we've
down the drain,
thrown away down the drain.
Down the drain.
I don't care anyone.
Kayan is in the house. Kayan is in the house.
Here's the thing: Pepe's levels above.
Yeah, big ups to you, Kayan, man. Big supporter of mine and a big friend, man. Big ups, Kayan. And Taib was saying, big ups to you, Taib, big ups to you too.
Pepe was never given the fair chance, was he? But Kai Havertz gets a fair chance. I mean, it's astounding. It's astounding. And I know Pepe's not everyone's flavor, He's not for everyone. I know he dribbles the ball a lot. He loses the ball at times when, he think he's broken away. But, I mean, you've seen him just put defenders on their ass, Tony. We've seen him just fly by defenders. Kai Havertz can't dribble the ball. Kai Havertz can't, can possibly pass the ball sideways and backwards, but he cannot do what Pepe can do. And we need stuff that Pepe can do. And, shout out to Pepe for not going to Saudi Arabia. One thing I want to say is that there's
that's another thing.
The thing is too is that they have a lot of human rights issues, and for some people that don't believe in that, want to live that sort of society, hey, all the more power to them. It's not always about the money, but I think Pepe just wants to be loved, man. And I don't know if there's something that's been going on in the dressing room since day one. I have no clue, but Pepe, I know, is a baller
Mm.
compared to Havertz. It's not even close. It's not even close. I know they play a little bit different positions, but
See, but
I mean, if you're playing Kai
it's not
Havertz up front, you
close.
play Pepe
It's
up front.
not close.
It's
It's
not
not
close.
close. It's not close because Nikolai Pepe had, I think, 112 games for Arsenal, and he
Mhm.
bagged about 27 goals.
Yeah,
For me, that's even decent. Judging from the fact that he wasn't even a regular at Arsenal. That
right.
was, and he had a couple of assists, yeah, and he progressed the game a little bit. Uh, But Kai Havertz, I'm not seeing anything. Kai Havertz,
Mhm.
give us a reason. I want to see, yeah. See, Dad, I've told you this, man. I
Mhm.
believe in this perfect underdog story, yeah. When people say you can make it, can do anything,
Right,
and
right.
you
Sure.
just come out and ta-da, hocus
Prove
pocus,
them
here I
wrong.
am, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want to have this kind of story for this guy, yeah. And
Mhm.
coupled with I'm also a fair guy too, I'm a fair human
Mhm.
being. So I want to see this guy like really make it at Arsenal. But he's not giving Arsenal fans something to run with. Yeah, he's not giving the people that's going to defend him something to hold on to. If you're giving us something to hold on to, that we can be able to tell other fans like, see, yeah, let's give him time. He'll come good. He'll progress.
Mhm.
Mikel is telling Arsenal fans to show love to this guy. How about love from him? He's asking for
Well,
love from German supporters.
mhm.
He said that German supporters were not supporting him or were not
Mhm.
supporting the team enough. That he was absolutely slaughtered on social media for that. And down at Arsenal, it's kind of like insinuating that he's not getting love from Arsenal. Mikel Arteta said that Arsenal fans should show love to this guy. How about
Mhm.
Kai Havertz showing us love by scoring some goals? Even if he's not gonna be as a main striker, how about putting up performances, making deep runs,
Right.
progressing the ball, helping the team backwards? So how about that? Show
Yeah.
Arsenal fans some love. Do you think you should be showing Arsenal fans some love before we can give some certain part of love back to him?
Well, right. I think Kai Havertz is trying. Right. Right. I think he's giving effort. I just think that he's kind of lost within the team and lost on what Arteta's trying to tell him to do. So, but to alleviate that is to go back to, put your brain backwards a little bit, play like you're having fun again, forget about the money, forget about the crowds, and just go back to playing football. And that is on Kai Havertz, Tony, and I will give you that. But I still think that a lot of it is, the change of environment, the money attached to it, the name recognition, right? It's a lot of those things as well. But at the same time, that's shit's not keeping them from making a pass forward. It's not keeping him from, doing some
Yeah.
tuckers around a defender or opening up space. That's the thing. He's his own worst enemy right now. He's in his own mind, and yeah, I want to see him blossom.
Mm,
But from what I've seen and
yeah.
from what I've seen at Chelsea, I don't think it's going to happen. And you've just solidified it even more, saying that he was shit
It's not gonna
over the weekend.
happen, man.
So I just I think there comes a time where we have to be ruthless
It was an
in how
eyesore, man.
we how we conduct
It was an
business.
eyesore against Japan.
And
Shocking.
yeah, well, yeah, loan him out. Go loan him to a German club. You don't think Bayer Leverkusen will probably take him back in a heartbeat on a loan? Loan him out. Let him go rebuild his confidence.
But
But in the
but
meantime,
who
he
would
has
loan
to
him?
play ESR.
See,
Not go buy someone else.
who is going to loan him? No one is gonna take
I
Kai
think
Havertz.
I think there's a handful of German clubs that would take him on loan immediately, for sure, for sure, for sure. I don't. I think
You think
I don't
so?
think that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think
I don't
in
think so, man,
January,
because his
if it
performances has
hey
been
bro,
shocking, man.
if the rubber hits the road in January, right, and he is absolute dog shit come
Hmm.
January, but we've paid 65 million for him. I have no problem loaning him out because we're not going to sell him after a few months in his contract. That's just not going to happen. But loaning him out
Mm,
to a German
yeah,
side
yeah.
or a middle division, Valencia, Villarreal. I don't know. Maybe at maybe Inter Milan, Juventus, someone of that ilk or a little bit
Yeah.
lower. Take him on loan for a year and let it work itself out. But in the meantime, he has to play ESR. And I'm not saying go buy another midfielder. I'm saying use ESR because the kid is ready. He's Hale End. Let's go. Let's get him put him on the left side. I don't know what the
Yeah.
problem is. Having Odegaard and ESR with Rice holding in front of the back four in a 4-3-3, I think is a very, very good midfield attacking options. I just think that. I think that we would see a lot better, faster
Yeah.
pace of a ball movement. Kai Havertz is a roadblock in the squad. He needs to be loaned out. He needs to be loaned out, and because I just say that because
And
we're not going to
see,
sell.
yeah, if you're talking about if you're talking about a loan move, yeah, shout out to Anthony Herbert who's in the chat. Big ups to you, Anthony Herbert. Big friend of this channel, big friend of mine. Scott Kirk just came into the show. Tony Ibarra, that's my guy, yeah. Supports me all over my platforms, yeah. Tony Ibarra, Ibarra, my brother. And Scott Kirk is also here. Big ups to you, Scott Kirk. Wolfang is also here, man. Big ups to you guys, yeah. See, yeah, Dal. This guy is, you've totally forgotten and thrown to the gutter, yeah, that this guy is on a big salary. No one's going to get him on loan.
Right.
He's on a huge fat salary. We've totally forgotten about this.
Right. I did forget about that. I do forget that we're paying this jackass 300 grand a week. Right. So of course that's a hurdle. But I just think we've got to make it work. Either he has to start playing or sit on the bench and pay him 300 grand a week or loan the bastard out in January. One of those three things has to happen. And from what we've seen, he is not playing well at all. You just said it. He was up front for Germany and couldn't fucking score.
And got hands sacked.
Yeah, and got hands sacked. Hansi Flick, if you're listening, hey, you might want to talk to Arsenal.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
Tony,
I'm completely confused on what to do with Kai Havertz. If I'm Arteta, I've tried everything I can to loan him out in January because right now it's just not looking good. He's a roadblock to our progression.
It's not looking good. I gave him 10 games, but I've had enough. I don't want to see it again because right now, we have someone, who we brought in for nearly about $40 million. That guy is called Pablo Vieira. Yeah, Fabio Vieira, sorry. Yeah? His game has changed. He started moving. He knows he has a keen eye for a pass right now. He's bulked up. He's gone to the gym. He's worked out. He's tried to, assimilate and integrate himself into this Arsenal folk right now. He had a lot of slack last season. This season, we've seen some kind of movement, yeah? That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Man,
that's what I want to see. Yeah,
he can come in. I want to see that, man.
The evidence speaks for itself, Tony. We've seen that. We saw the surge of energy. We saw the effort towards goal. We saw his bicycle kick. We saw his beautiful pass for Jesus in the final goal against United. So maybe we backtrack a bit on Vieira because we mudded him for the last couple of seasons, but we had reason to because he wasn't performing as well. So, maybe this is the season for Vieira. And again, Arteta needs to be looking at this. We can talk about this till we're blue in the face, right? But until Arteta really sees it, and again, I hope he saw that Japan-Germany game, like you mentioned, and can make some real decisions. I just don't. I think the way we're playing now and scoring goals of late and not looking cohesive, not looking, like we're all there yet. Kai Havertz needs a rest, and ESR I think is the guy to put in there. Fabio Vieira possibly as well. There's a shout for that as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want him starting games just yet. I think ESR is a little more of that. I want the initial energy. I want that spark plug. Like we said just earlier in the stream. We want those 2-3 goals as early as we can get them. And I think ESR just provides that edge a little more than Vieira does. Vieira's looking great as a sub coming on in the 77th, 80th minute or some shit. But bring him on earlier. And you're right, Vieira's making a case for himself right now.
Mm.
So
For himself, yeah. See, yeah, we've come to the end of this show. Jets just said England 1-0. Foden just putting in that goal. See, man, it's good. Let Foden put in the goals, yeah. Let Saka rest. See, yeah, I want to win the league, so let Foden take that mantle. Yeah, I don't care. What I want is for it's for our guy, our star boy, to have a rest. Yeah, let's don't use him too much like this. Yeah, it's okay. England won, Scotland nil, a big one, and Jets, of course, uses that hint. Scott Kirk says who scored, and of course, Wolfang. Big ups to you. He says Foden. See, yeah, we've come to the end of this show, man. See, my brother DVS,
Yes,
what's
sir.
your prediction for that matchup against Everton?
We're at Everton, right? Big up Carl Rossi. Shout out Carl Rossi. My
Rossi!
Tony, I'm gonna have to
Rossi!
go. I'm gonna have to go 2-1. I'm gonna have to do 2-1 because I think there's a mistake in it
2-1.
still. We're not playing well. Kai Havertz will probably start, which will slow us down. And Eddie, we're not scoring goals in the timely manner, and that could cost us against Everton. But I still think we'll have enough to get out of there with 2-1. Hopefully, it's a 4-0, but I think 2-1 is realistic from what I've seen in the first 4 games. I mean,
Man, you know what? Yeah, I really think it would be a hard game, man.
it will be,
To
but
be a
I
hard
think
game. Arsenal might just escape with that
we make it
2-1
hard
win.
on ourselves too. We make it hard on ourselves a lot of the time. We get in our own heads. Now it's
Yeah.
5th game. We
Mm,
need to get the 3
mm.
points, or we're going to be lost in the dust. So
No, yeah,
thanks for
exactly,
having
man.
me on,
Exactly.
Tony.
And see, yeah, sure, man. And guys in the chat, yeah, just remember that UEFA has just increased the amount of money that teams that will qualifying for the group stage and other stages of a Champions League by 18%. They just hiked the money by 18%. So in the group stages, Arsenal will be getting about 45 million pounds just for the group stage alone. Yeah, guy, for the group stage alone. And they've increased the prices across the board right now. So, no more excuses. Money is coming from UEFA. We'll look into the January transfer window quite soon and hope that Arsenal go and bring in players soon. So see ya, guys. From me. Where can people find you?
Check me out on
DVS.
Twitter at Oregon Goon HD or YouTube at Oregon Goon. And every Friday at 9 p.m. UK time is the American Idiots Show with my guy TJ Warren. And this Friday we got our man Lee Gunner coming back for a huge show, which will be fantastic. And shout out to Connor
Yes.
as well, keeping the ship afloat
Yes.
as always. And again, Tony, thanks a lot for having me on. Big up to everyone in the chat. Tony, Jez, Scott,
Yeah.
Wolfgang, Rossi, Cayenne, I think was in there earlier. Someone I saw. Tony,
Yeah.
big show, man.
Yeah.
We killed it in 50 minutes. Good
Yeah,
times.
sure, definitely. Yeah. Good times. See, yeah, guys, make sure, yeah, you go watch Jesse show this week. It's tomorrow, guys. I think Wednesday. Is bringing in Lee Gunner. It's going to be a massive one, guys. You don't want to miss that show tomorrow. Yeah, with Jazz, Lee Gunner. I think Kenny Ken should be there also. And some other hard hitters. So it's going to be a very, very big show. Even Jazz, I just said it. Yeah, it's going to be a blitz, a big one, huge one. Revelations are going to be revealed down there with Jazz and Lee Gunner. Also on the American Idiot Show, of course. I don't know if Regan Gunner is going to be there. I wish and I hope he's going to be there. But, Lee Gunner on the American Idiot Show, TJ Warren down there. Guys, what are you waiting for? Go check that out this week, yeah, from our community. And big ups to everyone. And definitely we catch you guys soon. From me and Dal, peace out.